right on time. So I'm going to go ahead and start. If you're still writing, that's fine. It doesn't bug me. You can write while I talk. I'll just collect those from you at the end, and I'll have you add something at the very end as well. So to introduce myself, my name is Mike Roberts. I'm the Vice President of Indiana for Young Entrepreneurs Across America, as well as the Chicagoland area also. So a little bit about myself. I did this internship program when I was a senior here at IU in 2010. What it is, Danny was here a little earlier, so we were talking about it, but in a nutshell, we hire college students to run businesses, and you guys run those businesses wherever you live this summer. So I was from Fort Wayne. I ran my business in Fort Wayne. Now I live in Noblesville, and I oversee Indiana and the Illinois division. So I've got two guests with me here today. If you guys want to introduce yourself.
Yep, my name is Andrew Craig. I'm a senior here now. I ran my business last year, also in Fort Wayne. I ended up doing like $62,000 business for the year, for the summer, and then now I'm actually executive manager, so I oversee all production in Fort Wayne area.
My name is Aaron. I'm the general manager of the Michigan division. I joined this program as a freshman in 2009 at Michigan State. My first year of the program, I ran a $77,000 business in a suburb of Detroit, and just down here this week seeing what's going on at Indiana and Purdue.
That's Aaron's excuse. He's actually here to watch the Big Ten championship this weekend, and hopefully they beat Ohio State. So, but yeah, have any of you heard of Young Entrepreneurs Across America before? No? How are you guys here today? Email? Everything email? Awesome. We've been around for 26 years. It was founded in 1987. We're an entrepreneurial development company. So what that means is we hire college students who are interested, obviously, in entrepreneurship, and we help them make that leap from wanting to be an entrepreneur to actually being a real-life entrepreneur. So what we do is we find students, like I said, who are interested in taking that route and then help them make that big jump and help with the safety net, taking away the risks that are usually obviously associated with entrepreneurship. So like Andrew said, Andrew ran a $62,000 business. The businesses that our interns run aren't small, lemonade stands. These are real life-size businesses. Ryan Hill, who Danny knows, who was here earlier, ran, I think it was $45,000 business in Carmel. So our average intern runs about a $50,000 business. They're very big, nice, profitable, huge resume builder businesses. We'll talk about kind of the pros about the program, obviously. But that's a little bit about what it is in a nutshell. So what I'll do today, this will take me about 15 more minutes. I'll explain everything to you guys. I'll give you some information that you can take with you as well, and then you'll have a lot more information. So what are three things it takes to launch a business? Three very basic things.
Money.
Capital, right? Yeah.
Idea.
An idea, a business model or business plan, right? Yep. The last one's kind of trickier than I'm looking for. If you've never ran businesses before, you need some kind of training or support system to implement the business plan and allocate the resources to capital, right? So that's what we provide for you. We give you a business plan that we know works. It's worked for 26 years. We give you unlimited funding. We give you unlimited training, and you get to use these tools to launch a real-world business. So young entrepreneurs, we own several companies actually. One that we'll talk about today is the internship company. One of them is a Campus Information Services. That's a networking company that's in Michigan, where Aaron's from. One of them is a venture capital assistance program, and the internship company, the name is kind of deceiving, but we call that company Student Painters. You guys ever heard of Student Painters before? No? I'm kind of surprised.
Yes.
Have you? Do you know anything about it or no?
I just know one guy who does it.
What's his name?
Austin Gold.
You know Austin?
Yeah.
He's in here. I've got a great picture of Austin, several actually. So Austin ran a $40,000 business in Fishers, Indiana. I don't know if you know that. How well do you know him?
We were pretty good friends, and we still are.
Awesome. I saw him. He comes out to help with these trainings and things on campus. Still, he's a good guy. I like it. So awesome. So yeah, the name of that company is Student Painters, which, like I said, is a little bit deceiving. So this is perfect because we can use Austin as an example, or Grant. That you guys know two of us. What the internship is learning how to run a business. It almost has nothing to do with painting. Like Austin now knows how to run a business. Grant knows how to run a business. They wrote their own business plans, their own marketing plans, hired employees, implemented the marketing plans, oversaw production, did the sales, interacted with customers, filed payroll, did the profitability analysis, all of the financial things. So that's the point of the internship, is for our interns to learn how to do all of those different things. That way, after you've done the program, Austin or Grant now could go launch basically any company because they know how to run and launch and grow a company. This internship, that end result product, has to be painting for a couple of reasons that I'll explain here in a little bit, but that really has nothing to do with what you're learning and taking away from the program. So does anybody in here have an actual business venture that they want to do? You're in entrepreneurship. Do you have an idea that you want to launch?
No. No.
Anybody else?
Like, it would depend on the location.
Okay. But the point is, if you wanted to launch a sports bar in Chicago, right? nothing to do with the painting industry at all, but the same skills that you need to acquire, right? Managing people, hiring people, writing a business plan, implementing that, marketing for sales. That's what our interns take away. That's the point of our program that we own, is to help students get those skills. They just do so in the painting industry, and I'll explain why that is. We had to choose an industry to do this in, obviously, because we give you a business model that we know works. I'd love if you could just write me a business plan, and if it was great, I could invest in that for you. But that adds a whole other element of risk, obviously, if you're trying to invent the new niche in the market bubble or whatever it may be. So we chose the painting industry for these couple reasons. It's very, very basic. It doesn't take anything to run a painting company other than labor and materials. You don't have to outsource, resources. You don't have to carry overhead as far as retail. You don't have to rent property or lease, a brick and mortar company. All you have to do is hire people to do so, like Grants and Austin hired crews of painters, crews of marketers, and they went out there and gave them material, sold jobs, and then their businesses ran. That's all it takes. It's very basic. It's very easy to train, because I don't expect our interns to know anything about painting. That almost has nothing to do, like I said, with your role. We're teamed up with Sherwin-Williams, the biggest painting company in America, that we host trainings for you and your employees to teach them how to do the right things. It's not hard at all. It's not rocket science. It's just painting, but there are right ways and wrong ways to do so, obviously. Another reason, it's seasonal. So this has to be an industry, obviously, that's booming over the summer. This is a summer internship. So you launch your business in May, close it down in August. So obviously, the painting industry is booming then. The last reason, it's profitable. I'll go ahead and give you guys these. Our average intern last year, I put 9,000 on here. It was actually a little bit more than that as far as what they earned. Yep. On average, to give you guys some numbers, our average intern runs about a $50,000 business, and this is a paid internship. You keep what your business generates. So on average, that's going to be 18 or 20%. So to give you an easier number to remember, our average intern runs about a $50,000 business and profits about $10,000. Those things I passed out, I believe Austin's in there as well. It has their numbers, what size businesses they ran. What's nice about it, as you can see, is there's no ceiling. We have guys that run six-figure businesses. Doesn't matter if you're a freshman or a grad student. You can see some interns run six-figure businesses. There's no ceiling to this. Doesn't matter your age, your experience. The biggest business in the country last year on there was Spencer Susky, was a freshman at Purdue, rolled burritos at Chipotle the summer before, did the internship and ran a $132,000 business. So 20% of that is a lot for an 18-year-old kid to make. But the difference between Spencer and your wannabe entrepreneur is Spencer is willing to put in the time and effort. So that's what we look for in interns. That's what the real world needs out of entrepreneurs to be successful. So it is very profitable, although normal entrepreneurship. It's very unique because of the opportunity, because of the way that it's structured. We pay for everything. We pay for all initial investment capital. All of your marketing material is free. The safety net in there is that even if your business would fail, you get to walk away hands-free. There's no lines of credit in your name. There's no liabilities that you're tied to. We're basically looking for the elites, college interns who we feel comfortable investing in to launch a business with our money, hoping they can do so. We're obviously very good at finding the right students to do so. So because of that structure, it's very selective who we hire. We can't just hire everybody that applies. We have thousands and thousands of kids that apply. To give you a number, right now in Indiana and Illinois, we have 65, I think, managers hired. We'll end up at about 75 to 80 when we're done recruiting, which will be here in the next couple weeks. But to get to that 65 hired, I've already met with over 2,000 students. So it is very selective, but once you're in the program, that's why it's awesome that you guys actually know people in this. Grants and Austin, you're in the program. You have unlimited access to our funding, our marketing material, our training, our support. Obviously, the sky's the limit once you're in the company. So it is very unique. Why we talked about, but why students join? So how many freshmen are in here? Sophomores? Juniors, seniors? Both juniors? So what did you guys do last summer? What were your summer jobs over?
I worked in the lumber yard. Factory. Bagger, Montana, Country Club.
How were you graduate, sir? Okay, so normal college jobs, right? Nothing to be ashamed of. They're normal. That's what college kids do in the summer. But the reason usually underclassmen join the program because they're tired of making 7, 8, 10 tips are obviously tax free, but you might make anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 a summer. Our average intern makes $8,000 to $10,000. So our average intern makes about 3 times what your average college summer job makes. So usually freshmen or sophomore are just tired of making minimum wage of $1,500 for a summer. They join our program. Like I said, Spencer rolled burritos at Chipotle for like $8.50 an hour, and then he ran a $132,000 business. So that's what's motivating for a lot of underclassmen. Obviously, that's for everybody. Money drives the world, but upperclassmen usually realize that their resume. Andrew's a senior here, so I don't know why would you join?
I kind of said, Kind of a little bit of both. For the past the 2 years before I did this, the summers, I was actually an assistant preschool teacher, and I'm a business major, so I had nothing to do with that. I had nothing on my resume to say, you know, I'm interested in business, I have this experience, I have these skills. So I did that, but then I also, you know, wanted to help pay for my rent and stuff. So a little bit of both.
Yeah, so exactly. My point is, once you start to realize that you're going to graduate in the next year or two and join the real world that they talk about, it's basically college, just more expensive. You need something on your resume to get that dream job or your foot in the door wherever it is you're trying to go. So our average intern can put, they ran a $50,000 business, wrote their own business plan, their own marketing plan, employed, how many people?
I had like 9.
No, Ryan Hill had, I think, 12, employed whatever, 10 people, produced, how many jobs?
34.
Produced 34 jobs, did their own profit analysis, filed payroll. Everything on there shows so much more maturity than preschool teacher. You know what I mean? That on your resume opens the doors to things that a normal college job, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not going to get you above your peers who also have great GPAs from a great school like IU. You need something unique that makes you stand out, and that's what this program is. So, last reason why some students join, if you really are interested in entrepreneurship and you want to see what it's like out there, this is the only program that you can do so with a safety net. That doesn't exist in the real world. We all hear risk equals reward, right? That's entrepreneurship 101. In this world that we live in, that we provide for you guys, entrepreneurship is hard work equals reward. You don't have the risk in the equation. We take that out of there for you guys. So the experience, which is awesome in itself. The process, if you guys want to pull out that timeline in there, I'll talk about that real quick. You can see there's picture breakdowns. We put pictures in there so the Purdue students can follow along. So it shows pictures of each step. I love bashing Purdue, but I can only do that here. Or Notre Dame, I can bash them too. But the whole process, today's just the info session, so it'll take me 5 more minutes to keep talking to you guys. The next step is the interview process. So that's where it starts to get very selective. So the interviews for this round of recruiting will be early next week, probably Monday or Tuesday. I know it's tricky because IU's dead week next week, isn't it? Purdue's finals next week. It'll be early next week. It'll be a 45-minute time slot where you'll sit down with myself one-on-one. Unless yesterday, it was yesterday, wasn't it? We did interviews here from the last round. Aaron joined me, so it was a little more intimidating because it was 1-on-2. You were there too, it was 1-on-3. Yeah. So usually it's 1-on-1. You sit down with myself for 45 minutes and basically explain to me why you are one of the candidates that we should invest in for 2014 as opposed to any of those other 2,000 applicants applying. So at that point, if you are hired into the program, obviously you can see there's a lot of training. I'm not going to go through all those pictures, but we don't just hire you and say, good luck, there you go launch a business, because if you fail, it's our money that you're failing. It's not monopoly money, it's real money. So we want to make sure you know what you're doing, obviously. So you're assigned an executive, somebody who's geographically close to you. Austin was actually on my team, because I live in Noblesville now. Austin's in Fisher, so 10 minutes away from me. So your executive helps you every step of the way in the field. Here on campus, we get all the IU interns together. There's a lot of training, like I said. You definitely never feel like you don't know what you're doing throughout the whole process. So one thing that I will touch on, your marketing material, like I said, all of that's free. So lawn signs, flyers, door hangers, car magnets, whatever you need to get the word out there about your business, we pay for it. Because we know that it doesn't matter how great your business model may be, if nobody knows about it, it's not going to grow. And the point of this program is to teach you guys how to grow this big business. So we pay for all of your marketing stuff. The last picture that I'll touch on is a cruise, just because it's in there. It's the very last thing. That's not, you don't just get a free cruise at the end of the program. It's not the last step. We do go on a company cruise every year to the Bahamas. Unfortunately, Austin and Grant didn't make it quite there this year. They both ran good businesses, but you have to run an elite business to get to come on that. If you do run an elite business, that's why it's in there. We pay for you to come on our company cruise. It's all expenses paid. We fly to Miami. We go to the Bahamas on the boat. We come back. It's a great time. What happens in the Bahamas stays in the Bahamas. I have some pictures though, so some of that comes back. But it's just in there as a motivator. If you run about a $60,000 business, you're invited to come with us on that. But you don't just get a free cruise. So don't do the program because you get a free cruise. That's not how it works. If you run a $60,000 business, excuse my language, but you worked your ass off and you deserve a free vacation at the end of the summer. So, summary, there's Austin right there. That's awesome. I love that picture too. Opportunity. Obviously, the opportunity that it offers students is crazy. There's nothing else like it out there that lets a college student have unlimited funding and a safety net to go out there and play with real money in the real world in a business experience. So it's very unique. Huge resume builder, regardless of which direction you guys go. If it's accounting, finance, human resources, communication, management, sales, marketing, it touches on every aspect in the real world, which is where you're all going to end up eventually if you want to or not. And the last reason, jobs, or income, sorry. Like I said, our average intern earns 3 times what your average college student earns in a summer. So our elite guys, like you can see their numbers in there, Spencer last year as a freshman ran a $130,000 business. 20% of that is a lot for an 18-year-old student. So there is no ceiling, but we expect our guys to make anywhere from 8 to 10,000, which is obviously great. So we got some other. This is us on the cruise last year. This is Andrew. He's an IU student. Kyle IU, Justin IU. That's Ryan back there IU. And then there's other great pictures in here. So there's Austin again. Austin's always themed out. IU. But that's all I've got, guys. Any questions you got for me before I give you a little bit more information? Anything you'd like me to explain further or anything?